into that productive programming that has been so instilled in all of us with the advent of the industrial age. Well, we're not machines, though. And the more we actually connect with Gaia and the earth rhythms, it can be challenging to trust that your life has purpose and meaning, even when you're not being productive per se. But the very earth rhythm encourages you to rest during these darker seasons and to allow for the light to pulse and help you blossom without forcing and making things happen. In my work with over 3,000 or so clients now, I find that's something that clients really grapple with, is that concept of continual linear development and productivity. And that's one example of how we've gotten so far away from the Earth's rhythms and energies, the telluric fields, into just that mind of logic and intellect. But we are going to have some help because when we allow for that light, it helps us blossom without forcing it and making things happen. And that's where we're coming into the spring equinox on the 20th. We forget that we're experiencing cycles, we humans, we soul-embodied humans, just like Earth is, the sun and the moon. And few have any conscious idea how much we're influenced by Gaia's energies. That's part of this consciousness growth, is coming back into connection with these healing fields and these energy systems. And there's a reason why, thousands of ancient sites were created to honor our connection to the sun as our light and our life force. So this can be a very purposeful, meaningful time for allowing that connection, not making it, allowing that connection within your own memory banks, your own DNA coding. What's also happening on the 18th, and this full moon is opposing Neptune, pardon me, in the 12th, we have some wild allergies going on here in the mid-Atlantic. People who are having strong allergy reactions like we've never seen before, and I'm one of them. But, and it opposes Neptune. So this is the awareness of that productive mind with the intuitive mind, the balance. This may bring developments in your work, your health, pet situations. The emotional awareness is what full moons are really about. How we have been quite unconsciously in many ways feeding this energy in our own lives. So the full moon in Virgo is a fine time to be available for insight regarding how you live your life, how you do your day. And on my live stream yesterday, the guides were bringing strong focus to criticism energy within self, and how developed that is in so many people's consciousness to criticize self as, again, going back to the I'm not productive enough, or, functional enough, or whatever the enough is, and to really hold space for that has been part of the structure when we come on this planet of the contrast. When you can acknowledge that and open that heart space to your own journey through this earth planet, in a loving, supportive, kind, nurturing way, that can shift. That can shift your sense of well-being and comfort and relaxation even. You know, I was sharing some information with someone earlier this week, and he's like, "Thank you, I owe you." And I'm like, "You don't owe me anything. I'm happy to help. I just had some experience with this very thing you're speaking of. Let me share what my remedy was, and if that's helpful to you, terrific." We're meant to help one another. We're meant to support one another. When we help others, it's a gift to us as well, because it's taking us back into our heart space and, connecting in a collaborative way rather than a competitive or, keeping score kind of way. So this is a lovely time we're moving into to remember and to reignite and reconnect. Now, what's interesting is Venus is heading into her square with Uranus right around this full moon as she's sextiling Chiron. So this can be an interesting time for breaking up patterns, rote routines, and patterns. And Chiron in Aries is the call to your identity, your individuality, the healing of that. That's part of the fun here is, pardon me, there's so much programming from the institutions and the systems, right? And the Chiron Aries is the coming back to love for the individual way and for a real sense of identity that isn't necessarily prescribed to you from an authority or a structured system in your external life. So interesting through there. Now, what also we move right into the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. And that's when the sun heads into Aries at 11:33 a.m. Eastern time. And this is when things are coming alive again. The sun is shining longer and brighter, and so are we, metaphorically, as we move into more light. Feeling